So, yeah, Portugal is screwed here. I don't really see a way out for this. Portugal needs to sit back for a bit. He is taking attrition. He's not taking a huge amount. Is Porto's highest supply? 45, 42, 35. Yeah, Porto is the place where he wants to sit right now to reduce that attrition. Troops moving in through the north. We have got coming into Brankara. This is going to be another hills, so this is going to be in Portuguese favour. But Portugal, you're attacking with no morale against France. That's a terrible decision. He's got 7 morale to your 5.3, and you started lower. Sure, you have bigger numbers, but France has got a lot of allies, and they're going to be coming in. So you're going to lose this simply because your morale is not full. If your morale had been full, you would have won this fight. Getting impatient, Portugal. You're panicking. Slow down. Calm down. Take a moment. Let your forts do their job. Reform your armies. Come back with a plan. You did win, but you could have won that far more handily. You are now going to take out the Sicilians and the Tugut, which are AI minions. That's fine. You'll take those out. That's probably a stack wipe. Good. And then you should do a shift consolidate once this is done, so that your units are fighting at 100% efficiency. Meanwhile, in the south, we have Andalusia, who have not really been fought against yet. Oh no, there was that one big battle, wasn't there? Taking out the southern forts. Braganza managed to hold out. We still have Galicia up here in the north. But the Dutch coming in against the coast. I, again, kind of wonder who this territory is going to go for. Is this all Andalusian turf? Is Holland perhaps going to take some territories here so they can control a bit of trade? Are France going to take some? I'm wondering. Portugal coming in again against the Dutch, but this time the Dutch are going to be heavily reinforced. All the Dutch need to do is hold until their allies appear, and then, yeah, they're doing a huge amount of damage. Did the Portuguese reform? The Portuguese, I don't think, did reform. They have far too few artillery at the moment. I thought, again, this stage of the game doesn't matter so much. Portugal does not have a lot of cavalry. The allies do. The cavalry is going to be doing more damage, although that bonus is going to be growing smaller. Portugal, again, sent packing. So right now, you need to get rid of these units. Just gone. And then shift consolidate your mercenaries, recruit some more mercenaries. Possibly get rid of some of the cavalry to save yourself some space. You're not hemorrhaging money. Although right now you are making cash. Is that actually true? That is actually true. So despite the fact that you're going to be reinforcing very heavily mercenary reinforcements, you're actually making money. Somehow. That's the strength of the Portuguese trade income right there. How much of Sevilla are they taking? They are dominating trade in Sevilla. One thing we haven't really looked at is the naval engagements. So it does kind of look like the Portuguese navy has at least beached the Andalusian navy. Andalusia started with 10 heavies. They haven't lost any. So it looks like they just docked and said, we want no part of this. Mali is offering a peace deal. Trying to take the coast, as I kind of assumed that they would. Be curious to see if they accept. Meanwhile, Portugal is taking over Cuba, which are the Andalusian colonies. So, overseas, Portugal is winning. Except in Mali. But Mali, they are going to be up against a fairly substantial force. Mali can actually afford a lot of troops. Plus, don't forget, Mali is actually bigger than you would expect, because most of these are their vassals. This is all Mali. Not just this. So Mali is actually a pretty significant African nation. They just look weaker. Portugal is now completely tapped for manpower. Andalusia is getting close. France is fine. And the Netherlands is also tapped for manpower. That's interesting. I was not expecting you to be out. And in fact, the Portuguese colonial fleets are blockading the Dutch. So that means the Bank of the Netherlands is going to be... Oh, I was going to say closed, but they're not. They're still collecting because all of that trade is provincial. It's all centres of trade controlling that. So I think that they are gathering for another force to attack Columbra. Columbra is across rivers. This is a pretty good defensive location and in the forest. Portugal is taking attrition, but I don't think they really care. It's only 1%. I think Andalusia wants to take the Algarve. Remember, the Algarve is the war goal, so as soon as they take that, then the war goal is going to start ticking in their favour, because right now it's Portuguese. So this is going to swing about 8 points the other way as soon as the Algarve falls. I'm impressed that the colonial fleets come this far out. Like, usually the colonials don't tend to do very much. Okay, so Portugal attacked France. Interesting choice. This is open territory. The French morale is, again, lower than usual. Oh, they have a craven ruler. That really sucks. But just numbers. Just numbers. I mean, Portugal picking fights while he knows that the enemy is just gathered around here. I don't think he has much choice, and Portugal's definitely putting up a good fight and doing a fair amount of damage. But you're just so heavily outgunned. I mean, the numbers here lie, because Vijayanagara is not making it to this battle. Pull out. Your troops have already... Like, as soon as this flag disappears and you're losing, you just back off. Especially when you have so few troops, because their flanks mean they're going to be doing extra damage against you. Oh, and you retreated one province. Oh, no. Always click on a fort. Always click on a fort. Don't just click next door, otherwise you're just going to get stack wiped, as just happened. The Dutch, boom, dead. And with that, Portugal is down to 10,000 men. Here in Portugal.
There's this glitch where I keep only retreating one province.
Are you clicking on forts?
Yeah, I'm clicking on Galicia.
Okay.
And it just retreated. I got stack wiped because of that.
I saw that, and I saw someone else get stack wiped in a similar situation earlier. Austria did. I wonder if that's a bug. Well, it must be. Because, yeah, if you're clicking on a fort, you should retreat to that fort. That's how this has always worked. Alright, fair enough, because I was literally just saying you should be clicking on forts to retreat. Well, if you were, then... I don't know. That sucks. But you are just completely outgunned at this point.
Yeah, I was doing well. Like, I've been doing some damage, but...
Yeah, there's just too many of them. I mean, you've tapped Andalusia for manpower, you've tapped the Netherlands for manpower, but France, that bottomless well of French troops.
Oh, and both the French and the Andalusian morale is just ridiculous.
Yes. I mean, France has defensive and Elan, Andalusia has Andalusian and defensive, so...
Yeah.
Yep, it's a challenge. So were you really expecting Vijayanagara to come to your assistance here, or was that more of a alliance?
Well, no, he can't see any of them. He can't get there, so I can't really expect him to do much. He's giving me subsidies. Austria's giving me subsidies.
That's fair.
They all disappeared from the chat, and I'm like, something's not right.
Yeah, that would definitely be something of a hint, wouldn't it?
Yeah. They're not even in... They're in some different chat. So I can't even talk to them.
Are they? Oh, yeah, they are. Ooh, sneaky. Set up their own Discord for this. Wow.
Yeah, it's... I had no indication that this was coming.
I think
no.
Probably would have been blindsided too.
They want me to give a ton of colonies to Holland.
Yeah, no, that's just Holland.
That's just Holland, yeah. I'm not accepting that.
I'm not going to say anything. This is me changing stuff. I'm impacting. Yeah. I'm not going to...
I'm going to disappear back to the chat.
Yeah, I would have... I was shocked as you were that you got invaded there. But you need some more allies. You need to find them.
Yeah, well, allies. Everyone was rivaling me, and I'm like, they're like, two-player rival. No.
There's something else going on here. Power projection.
It's going. I'm going to pop back to one of the chats.
Good luck. They actually set up their own Discord. That's kind of hilarious. Austria's looking like a good ally. Austria would be a good counter. Austria's definitely going to be bitter towards France and Andalusia after that massive attack on them. Prussia being completely silent. Prussia could be another one to counter Holland. But as we've said earlier, Austria and Holland have had a bit of a rivalry going on in chat, so Austria would definitely be the one I would reach out to. And Austria would probably appreciate Portuguese cash, because one thing Portugal still has is buckets and buckets of dosh. Although they're probably going to lose some. This really... It depends on the peace deal. So the war leader is Andalusia, so Andalusia is definitely going to want the Algarve, which is not a trade node. Portugal should try to resist giving away Berlin Boa. Well, that's the capital, so I doubt they can. And Porto. Basically any of the centres of trade here in Sevilla. I mean, a lot of them thankfully are in the north, but France might want them. Though, that said, it doesn't really benefit French trade at all. That would be more about just denying Portuguese trade. And we know that Portugal is going to be growing rich because they have access to India, which basically no other European does. Holland's getting close. Holland has a bit of South Africa. Ireland has a bit of South Africa. But otherwise, yeah, it's just going to be the colonial income. Ireland peacefully, relatively, building up their colonies. I think Ireland is actually a little bit of a sleeping giant. At least economically. Like, I can't really speak for their military capability. Let's actually have a look. How's your military looking right now, Ireland? 24,000, so it's not huge. You do have a surprisingly capable force, though. Plus 20% cavalry, plus 10% infantry. That is more than many of the Europeans. You do have... You've started on quality. You've already got most of the infantry stuff. You are going to get plus 10 artillery. You don't have economic, so you can't get the massive quality economic bonus. I think it's quality economic, isn't it? What's the plus 20 infantry? Innovative. Okay, quality innovative. That's a really good combo. Which I think Commonwealth does have. Of course the Commonwealth has it. Quality, innovative. It was the first thing they went for. They haven't taken the policy, though. Wait, why don't they have it? They should do. Modern firearm techniques. I'm not sure why that's not showing. That's really bizarre. Yeah, they have got modern firearm techniques. Oh, so the policy selection is just lying. These aren't the policies he's got. Okay, interesting. OPM England. Yeah, England kind of got shattered. Cornwall took it. Cornwall pieced out and took the rest of England. Oh, wow. Never before, and probably never again, will you see such a glorious Cornwall as that. Portugal definitely... Yeah, the Allies definitely look like they want to take as much of Portugal as they possibly can. Portugal might be trying to hold off on piecing Mali out until they can piece these guys out and then see what's left and then go and intervene against Mali. But even that's going to be a huge undertaking, especially as they have nowhere to land. They do still have a lot of cash, though, and still a fair amount of manpower. What's your professionalism at? You tanked your professionalism completely. Andalusia resisted it. France doesn't have a lot. France could really do with sitting back and drilling for a bit. Holland, same thing. Holland's completely tapped. Alright, Andalusia going in for the final sieges. The French army has withdrawn. The Dutch army is still hanging around. I'm a little bit surprised that Andalusia didn't go after the Portuguese navy. But only a little. Like, that could have gone either way. Portugal has maritime, but not very much of it done. No naval ideas. That's the important one. Hey, Katie. Don't show up for a couple of weeks, come back to see a massive Mali and a properly effect Iberia. Yeah, I mean, Mali was actually, I have to say, on the verge of quitting when the Europeans came in. I was just like, that's just the Europeans going for your coast. That's completely normal. You still have the rest of Africa you can go for. And he has taken that advice to heart. Congo's being quiet, probably too quiet, although I think you do now have exploration and/or expansion. Take a look at that. You have taken expansion, which is wise, because it's going to allow you to colonize and go after Mutapa, Buzinza, and then eventually Kilwa, which you're going to want to do, particularly before the Europeans start gobbling this up, because it is super valuable territory. I think I would have done that a lot earlier. Ethiopia has kind of carved themselves out a little thing. Ethiopia's not here today, so I can't really say too much about what they're doing. But they're fairly solid, and they seem to have an agreement with Arabia to leave them alone. It was actually a really big deal when the Mamluks got a player. Let's actually take a look at Ava. So, the former Sweden player has taken over Ava, which I still maintain is one of the strongest choices in the east. Because just look at the quality of this land. Farmland, farmland, plains, 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 farmland, farmland, plains. It's so high development. Like, it doesn't start with it, but you can dev this up to your heart's desire. And you are protected by this valley. Like, the one way in through the north is here. It's a crossing. Here, here, like, just fort, fort, fort. And this is all, I think, mountains. Or jungle. It's just so easy to defend, and then this is basically all naval protection. You can do so much with this territory. And also, Ava starts with a bunch of tributaries. Lan Na, Tangu, and Mong Nai. It's like a mini Ming. It's a very good choice, Ava. What's Ava's trade goods? Well, they're eastern, so they're going to be good. Gems, cotton, tea! Ivory, spices, what's that called? Chinaware, tropical wood. Yep, they're good. Ivory. I mean, they're not Tirhut good. It's not silk, but it's still good. And Tirhut's still alive. Come on, Tirhut. Yes. So how long is the Timurid truce with you? 1600. So another 6 years, and I reckon we'll see another war against Delhi. The last province is going to fall soon. The Dutch forces have now vacated the area. Has anything happened down in Mali? Mali pieced out. So Mali took these 3 provinces, which I think are good. Only 1 centre of trade. I think I probably would have tried to get those 2. So Portugal still has a interest in the Ivory Coast. And Ivory Coast is probably the most important pure trade node. Like, the most important node is Genoa, but in terms of feeding Genoa, Ivory Coast. And Aden. But Aden to a slightly lesser extent, because you can actually bypass Aden. You can't bypass the Ivory Coast. Like, all of the trade from the east that doesn't go through Alexandria goes into the Ivory Coast. And Ivory Coast is one of the few places that Western trade can come into. So you can feed Ivory Coast into the Caribbean if you want it to go that way and then in, or you can feed Ivory Coast directly into quite a lot of Europe via these. It is such an important location. Is Russia dead? Russia is basically dead, yeah. Novgorod is a Commonwealth minion. Muscovy is a player, but he's not here today, so they're protected. But I suspect next week they're just going to get ruined between the Timurids and the Commonwealth. And Timmy's looking good. I still want to see a Timmy-Arabian-Ottoman alliance. Did these guys re-establish their alliance, by the way? No, they did not. Huzzah! Field Marshal, thank you very much for... Oh, no. Dana, giving out the generosity. Thank you very much for the gifted sub to Field Marshal. I appreciate that. Field Marshal, welcome to the Maudlings. Saying that to one of my moderators, of course I am. Does the Commonwealth have Hungary and the PU? Yes. Yes, they do. Alright, so the last of Portugal has fallen. I'm not seeing any peace deals coming in. What does Portugal still have going for them? I mean, that's actually a relatively low war score. Got rebels appearing in Cuba, which you should be able to fight. Maybe the African provinces? I'm actually surprised the war score is this low. I only got -5 from battles, -7 from the war score. War score has a long way to tick up. But it looks like the Portuguese homelands just weren't worth a lot.